Hey traders, hope you're enjoying your long Easter weekend. We are going to take a look at the market going into next week, starting 4/18. Here is the earnings for this upcoming week if you want to go ahead and screenshot that. Okay, let's get into it. So, SPY, as always, we have the monthly, the weekly, the daily chart up. And remember, so back in March, we hit our target. So once we hit our target, we became exhausted. We have then got a two down continuation. And basically, ever since April opened, it's been selling. So that's why we are always talking about mind the flip. March was all buying. April opened. The new candle flipped, aka was born, and from the open it's pretty much just been selling. So mind the flip, always minding the flip. And again, for this week, I'm not loving the setups because we are at exhaustion again with a two down and then a two down. So we're closer to taking out the lows and continuing down. You can see your weekly broadening formation pretty clear though, right? We have a higher high compared to the previous one, and we have a lower low compared to the previous low. So could come and test this. Qs, pretty much the same story. We got our outside month target. See? On the weekly chart, we hit it, and we have fallen back ever since then. This is also a broadening formation. And why I always say take profit at your targets, meaning your target was 370 because that was that high. You want to take profit here, reevaluate the situation. Had you done so, you would have been short since this level here when we broke below that. So two up, two down, two down, closed on the lows. So IWM, similar story, but IWM is ironically a bit stronger. So we got our slight higher high compared to the previous high. We did get two down, but you'll notice we closed green. So a little bit stronger. Set up on the daily for a rev strat. The VIX tried to go 3-2 up, failed on the weekly. We are setting up for possible 2 up, 2 down. So the short would trigger at 20.85. First target would be 18.45, then 17.36, and then 16.34. So the way that the VIX is set up would suggest that the VIX is going to go down, which would also suggest that the market is going to go up. So kind of interesting that the VIX didn't close green last week on the weekly candle because SPY and QQQ closed red. So that's interesting. Gold. Last week we talked about the inside week. It triggered and hit your target. Hit one target and also gapped up. So that was tricky. Anyway, full time frame continuity is still to the green. You could take a 2 down, 2 up reversal above 184, and your targets are marked here from previous weeks. XLE energy did what it was supposed to do, took out previous highs, then fell back down. I know this sector is very strong, but it also just is lacking tons of bullish conviction. You know, a lot of wicks, and not a lot of blasting through. Still strong. However, if you break last week's low this week, you might want to get out of any longs. So that level is, we'll call it 77. XLU up at all-time highs. So again, we're always at exhaustion risk up here. This is an interesting setup. You have an inside bar at the top of price action. This would be a reversal if we get a 2-1-2 down. So the short would be a break below 75.43. Target 1 would be 74.15. However, this run never has had a pullback. So people might be looking to buy this dip if you get one on the weekly. So if you do break below 75.43 and they turn it around and it starts to turn green, that means the buyers are still here and there is no reversal happening. So be very mindful of that level. It is set up for a daily rev strat, a 1, a 2 up, followed by a 2 down. So a potential day trade play would be you could go short at 75.98 with your target being 75.43, which would trigger the inside weaken down. So you would technically have an early entry based on a strat reversal to trigger the inside weaken down. Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. We were talking about this in March. Bitcoin did its job. If you look at the monthly, we had a 2-1-2. So the entry was a break above 46,000 and your target was 48,000. We'll call it, it's 47.9, but calling it 48. Then what happened? Target hit, you're exhausted. That's when we want to exit and reevaluate. Back to the monthly. Month opened and flipped red. Again, a perfect example of mind the flip. Looks like also the monthly chart is setting up for a rev strat, which is a 1, a 2 up, followed by a 2 down. So if we trigger 37.161, that's where you want to go short. And then these are all your targets below. And I've been targeting this 28,000 level for quite some time now. I think since here, around 53. And holy inside days. All right, so I would be short biased and wanting to take this to the downside. So if we broke below 39.7, I would want to be short. You have a little pivot machine gun right here. 38 would be a target. 37.5 would be a target. And then that 37.161, that's the monthly trigger for longer term time frame bears. Okay, that is it for me. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.